Hello everybody, welcome to the United Stand. We're live. Apologies, it's really windy in Mallorca today. That's what I've got to say. But Dybala is effectively a done deal if Dybala decides to come to Manchester United. That is the breaking news. We'll also be talking about Bruno Fernandes and Harry Maguire and what a load of rubbish is going around about those two players as well at the moment. So we'll be updating you on that. Just want to say, of course, in the last week of this transfer window, we are sponsored by the Unibet vlog. Link in the video description. Very good article about Dybala. Give it a click. Some really good writers in there. Breaking news, top news about Manchester United. So make sure you give it a click. Unibet vlog, link in the video description. Very descriptive update on what's going on with Dybala. But effectively, the situation with Manchester United today is that there's a lot of crap floating around. I've heard that Harry Maguire is no longer a priority for Manchester United because we're focusing on Umtiti. What I would say about Umtiti is he's basically Phil Jones with an erotic name. That's it. We don't want Umtiti. He used us for a new contract a year ago. Shove your Umtitis up your arse, Umtiti. You're not even that good. We don't need Umtiti. Harry Maguire is who Manchester United want to sign. Leicester, Brendan Rodgers, he's acting like he's a big know-it-all. You've screwed up at Liverpool. You managed the pub team in the Scottish League, and I do like Celtic, but it's a very easy league to win. And suddenly he thinks he's the bloody Northern Irish Pep. You're not. You're Brendan Rodgers. You've got no power. You're managing Leicester, and you're trying to Billy Big Bollocks on Maguire. He ain't worth 90 million. Harry Maguire's getting frustrated. Sell him and let him go. That's the simple thing with Maguire. But no, there has been a few stories today that Manchester United are no longer in for Harry Maguire. We are in for Harry Maguire. I still believe we'll sign Harry Maguire, and that's the situation with Harry Maguire. There's just nonsense floating around. Same with Bruno Fernandes, which I'll touch on in a moment. But let's talk about the breaking news. Sky Sports have basically been... What's about Upamecano for centre-back, says Vinny Trims. Very, very good option, just not a player that we're looking at the moment. But with regards to Dybala, the situation is Sky Sports are basically saying that Manchester United, Lukaku, Juventus have agreed the deal to swap Dybala with a little bit of money for Romelu Lukaku. But the situation lies in the hands of Dybala, and I think that's a dangerous but exciting situation. If we signed a player of Dybala's quality, look, I've always said, and I can't be a hypocrite, because if I said to you now Dybala solves all our problems, somebody will go through my old videos and say, but you said loads of times that he is inconsistent and he might not suit the Premier League, and I've got to stand by that. He's a very, very good player though. He's better than Sanchez, he's better than Lingard, and he's better than Mata. But there is risk elements to him. If you've watched Italian football, if you've watched Dybala, the reason he doesn't get picked for Argentina is not just Messi. The fact is he's a little bit inconsistent and there are question marks. But in his mid-20s, this could be the move that he wants, that makes him go to that next stage. So I'm excited about Dybala, but I ain't going to be like everybody else going, oh, it's the be-all and end-of-all, it's an amazing signing. It is an exciting signing. But also, I think there's a very interesting element to this. Are we setting ourselves up for a fall? Arsenal fans are all over us like wasps line up like an open can of Red Bull at the moment, or flies round shit, but we're not the shit. So they want this to fail. And ultimately, what we know about Dybala is, if Dybala doesn't come to Manchester United, then it's because he chooses not to come in. This is the dangerous thing about this deal. We know Juventus want to do the swap because they don't want him anymore. We know we want rid of Lukaku. We know Lukaku wants to go to Manchester to Juventus, and we know that United would like Dybala as part of that deal. If this breaks down, it will be because Dybala doesn't want to come here, and we will take a big fat L on the situation. So the stories are that Dybala doesn't want to come to Manchester United because he wants Champions League football. He wants to stay at Juventus, and he's not interested in the deal. But what I would say about it is, if Dybala doesn't want to come to Manchester United, why the fuck is his agent actually in Manchester talking about the deal? So if it was a big fat no, his agent wouldn't even be here. The fact that he's open to the offer gives us some hope. And I think we need to get this deal over the line now, because as I said, if we don't get the deal over the line, it makes us look very, very weak. Because we know, I'm not going to lie about this. I wanted Pepe, he went to Arsenal, we didn't get him. What I would say about that is, and somebody just said money, money, money. I think Arsenal have overpaid on Pepe. I said this last week. I didn't even know Arsenal were going to sign him a week ago. 80 million euros for Pepe is too much. It is too much. He's a 60 million pound player, but he's a good player. But with Dybala, we are all our eggs in one basket at the moment. And if he doesn't come to us, we know it's because he snubbed us. But having said that, he is one of certainly he's in the top 20 players in the world, isn't he, Dybala? I would say so. Some might even push him into the top 10. Probably not for me, but certainly in the top 20. And United, for a team that's 6th and in the Europa League, should not be signing. We nearly bloody lost the stream there. We're still live, thank God for that. That would have been annoying if we'd lost it there, because it is a little bit temperamental these streams that I do for you. So please do smash a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. It is buffering a little bit. It's very windy in Mallorca. It's been a very, very windy day. So we'll get what we can out for you. I'm going to come back to Dybala, but I want to get you through on Bruno Fernandes very, very quickly in case we do lose the stream. So for Bruno Fernandes, there is talk that Manchester United will not sign Bruno Fernandes unless they sell Paul Pogba. This is floating around there today. Absolute crap, absolute crap. There's a sinking ship behind you, Mark. Oh wait, it's your club, says Big Maguire. It's really, really windy today. It's been so windy. I've been to Mallorca so many years and it's never, never this windy. So with Bruno Fernandes, there is a story floating around that Manchester United will not go for Bruno Fernandes unless they sell Paul Pogba. Don't buy this bullshit, is what I would say. Manchester United have scouted Bruno Fernandes for over a year. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Manchester United like Bruno Fernandes. If they don't sell him, it will be the same as Perisic. If they don't buy him, it's going to be like Perisic, where we don't buy a player because we don't want to pay the price. Paul Pogba is not dependent on Bruno Fernandes. Don't buy that bullshit. It's not true. It's never been true. Manchester United didn't know Paul Pogba wanted to leave halfway through last season when they were scouting Bruno Fernandes. Manchester United lost Ander Herrera and Bruno Fernandes was seen as a replacement for him. They did not suddenly get interested in Bruno Fernandes because Paul Pogba said he wanted to leave. It's a nonsense. It scares me because it makes me think, are the club feeding this out now to try and appease the fans when we don't sign him? We've got to be very, very careful. Luke Skywalker says, one deal at a time with very slow progress. Transfer window closes in 1 week. I don't have a good feeling about this transfer window. And I think Luke Skywalker is very, very right. We've only got 1 week of this transfer window left. What can we do in a week with the transfer window? The Booknut fan says, I don't know what to think in relation to what is going on in Madrid, and Pogba seriously wants to play there. Look, with Manchester United at the moment, we've got 1 week left. I like the idea of Dybala. I really like the idea of Harry Maguire. But I'm going to be absolutely frank with you now. What is going on with our midfield situation? We can be all really excited about signing a player of the quality of Dybala, but he ain't a midfielder. What are we doing with our midfield? It is almost like a B-Tech Real Madrid of 20 years ago, where they're signing all these Galacticos. What are we doing about our midfield? We've lost Fellaini, we've lost Ander Herrera. Pogba wants to leave, Matic is crap, and we're going to rely on Pereira, McTominay and Fred. That midfield is a joke, an absolute joke, and it needs reinvestment. I stand here now believing that Manchester United are going to get Harry Maguire, Dybala and Bruno Fernandes, and if they do that, they've rescued a transfer window. Sky Cover says United have upped their bid for Maguire to £80 million, says Stephen Bihari, and Jaquin Chanana says Bentancur and Bernardeschi for Lukaku. We don't look, Bentancur and Bernardeschi are very, very good players, but we don't need to do that sort of signing. If we get Dybala, it's a great deal. Breaking news from Sky Sports is that the deal between Manchester United and Juventus for Dybala and Lukaku is done, dependent on Dybala. Dybala is in training tomorrow and will speak with Sarri, the new manager, tomorrow. That is the situation. Juventus want to do the deal because they want to sell Dybala. Manchester United want to do the deal because they're like, bloody hell, we're getting rid of... I mean, actually, you know what? Have Juventus actually watched Lukaku? Fair play. They're getting rid of Moise Kean to go to Everton, who I think is a better player to bring Lukaku in. But let them be banter. Let them do what they want. They've got Ronaldo, for God's sake. RM look worse than us. Don't get why Pogba wants to go, says Jesus Escobar. Real Madrid are a better side than us. They're in the Champions League, let's be honest. Jin Amara Singh says, I really hope Pepe flops at Arsenal. He's a good player, to be fair. And the Sebson says, Cava reporting new bid made for Harry Maguire, just breaking live on Sky Sports. Info unconfirmed as of yet. Well, what I would say about Harry Maguire is quite simply this. I think it's nearly exactly, and you'd have to check, 4 weeks ago, I went live talking about Harry Maguire, and I was told that if Manchester United went above £75 million, they would get Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire wants to come to Manchester United, United want Maguire, and Leicester will let him go if there is a bid bigger than £75 million, and United put a bid in of 70 million. So whether it's 80 million, 75 million, that's 4 weeks old, that news. There's Harry Maguire's always, it's not a done deal. It's not a done deal. People who say it's a done deal are wrong, but it's a done deal when United pay the fee. And I agree with people saying, well, it's not a done deal then, Mark, and it isn't, but the details of the deal are there to be done when United pay the fee, very similar to Wan-Bissaka. And remember, tomorrow, we've got 1 week left of the transfer window. We signed Wan-Bissaka 4 or 5 weeks ago, so it shows you that I don't really know what United have been doing over the last few weeks. I suspect they've been just, taking their time on deals. Ibra said today United should get rid of Pogba to stop dressing room problems, says Chloe Jenkins. If a player wants to go, a player wants To go. Let's be honest with it. Let's be honest. If a player wants to go, a player wants to go. Quick recap, if you want to read about Dybala, link in the video description. Really good article on the Unibet vlog. You can give that a read. We need a chopper like Ron Harris to Sebastian Anderson. About 40 years too late. But Manchester United must sign a midfielder. This is where I stand on this at the moment. Harry Maguire will come to Manchester United. I said it at the start. Dylan Gill, you can have a shout out. Well done. I'm rushing through this because it's been such a windy